Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is the second episode of my Japanese Gastronomy and Language series, and today we're going to be talking about dashi, and we're going to be learning the katakana alphabet. A, I, U, E, O, A, I, U, E, O, Ka, Ki, Ku, Ke, Ko, Ka, Ki, Ku, Ke, Ko. Just like in hiragana, in katakana, the dakuten modifies the sounds. And so in the K row, all the sounds change from K to G. So it becomes ga, gi, gu, ge, go. Sa, shi, su, se, so, sa, shi, su, se, so. And with the dakuten, the sa becomes za, the shi becomes ji, the s becomes z, the se becomes ze, and finally the so becomes zo. Ta, chi, tsu, te, to, ta, chi, tsu, te, to. And with dakuten, ta becomes ta, chi becomes ji, tsu becomes z, te becomes de, do becomes do. Na, ni, nu, ne, no, na, ni, nu, ne, no. Ha, he, f, he, ho, ha, he, f, he, ho. And with Dakitin, ha becomes ba, he becomes bi, f becomes b, he becomes be, and ho becomes bo. The H row has the particularity that it can also come, apart from a Dakitin, it can come with a Han Dakitin, which is this little circle. And the Han Dakitin makes the sounds turn into a P sound. So, pa, pi, p, be, bo. And as I said, this only happens with the H row. Ma, mi, mu, me, mo, ma, mi, mu, me, mo. Ya, yu, yo. Just like in hiragana, in katakana, the ya, y, and yo particles, when placed smaller than usual in front of a normal hiragana symbol, like in this case ki, create new compound sounds, which in this case would be kya, kyu, kyo. And this basically happens when the first symbol, the original symbol, its sound gets like merged into the sound of the particle and shortened, and so instead of being kiya, it's kya. And this happens very often in the katakana alphabet, as well as in hiragana. Ra, ri, ru, re, ro, ra, ri, ru, re, ro. Wa, wo. This symbol is technically pronounced wo, but it's really pronounced o. This is the final katakana symbol. So now we have completed our katakana journey, and I would recommend for you guys to go over 1 or 2 rows every day, practicing, writing it down, and using the symbols in common words so you can relate it with these words. And in a week or so, if you are consistent, you can have katakana down. One last thing I forgot to mention. If you ever see a straight line in katakana, this acts as a vowel extension. So for example, in this word, ramen, which means ramen, ra, it ends in an A sound, and this line basically extends that A, so instead of being ramen, it's ramen, ramen. Or for example, in the word cake, which is pronounced keki, there's another one of these lines after the ke to elongate the E sound. Dashi is the generic name for Japanese soup stock. and together with rice, it forms the absolute fundamentals of Japanese cuisine. This stock forms the base of an infinite amount of dishes within the Japanese cuisine, and is the main carrier of the umami that is so typical of this culture. This broth, which is thought to have been consumed all the way back as the Heian period, which is basically the Japanese medieval era, brings a subtle and distinct flavor to the dishes in which it appears. Dashi is very comforting both in the cooking process due to the beautiful aroma that it gives off, as well as in the eating process due to the flavors that we've already mentioned and how it gives this lasting umami in the back of your mouth as you're eating it. When it comes to preparing dashi, there are 4 main ingredients to keep in account. These are katsubuchi, which is dried, fermented, and smoked tuna that is shaved into shards, and this gives a more strong and intense flavor. Shiitake mushrooms, which gives a more earthy and even sweet flavor. Kelp or kombu, which is also known as kelp, which gives a more soft, subtle, and delicate flavor. And finally, niboshi, which are like tiny sardines, which pack a pretty strong umami punch. Now, depending on how you mix these 4 ingredients, you'll be making one type of dashi or another. There are 5 main types of dashi, which is just using katsubushi alone, it's katsu dashi. Using kelp alone, it's kombu dashi. And using niboshi alone, niboshi dashi. And using shiitake alone, shiitake dashi. And if you combine katsubushi and kombu, you get awaza dashi, which is one of the most commonly made dashis in home cooking in Japan, and it is more versatile for soup bases and just dishes in general. Either way, you can combine with all 4 of these ingredients in any way, like shiitake, niboshi, all in one pot, and it'll just give you different versions of dashi, and they'll each have their own unique flavor. So I invite you guys to work with these ingredients, to combine them freely, but in this video we're going to work with these 5 main types of dashi. So now we know how to make the five main types of dashi, and I can't emphasize enough how versatile these kinds of stocks are. So I really recommend you guys to make them in large batches and put them in the freezer, so then they're ready to take out and use for whenever you guys making a stew, a soup, or even a braised meat. It's just super useful, and it just carries such a wonderful flavor into dishes. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Mata ne!